Next question.
So in Tamil Nadu, it's been a very big political debate, sir. So nowadays, youths all across India, so they are more interested in civilization roots. So at this time, how you plan to carry out the Sanatana Dharma to Gen Z and make them relevant, make them to understand about the Sanatana Dharma today, sir?
So for me, yeah, you finish your question?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay. So you can say. So what I believe in is when it talks about religion or culture, every country has its own culture which they should respect, no matter whichever country. It could be Middle East, it could be any country, you name it. They have their own cultural traditions. So in the same way, our country has its own cultural traditions. When I'm talking about cultural tradition, doesn't mean that I disrespect others. I have a lot of respect for other religions, but the problem is we're being fed in the last few decades. Maybe, I don't know, we can go dig back into 18th century also, but let us talk about for the last 5 decades especially. When you talk about your own culture, they feel it is uncomfortable for a lot of people, which I don't see it. If you talk about other than this particular tradition, rest are okay, but if you talk about the prevailing culture, or which is instrumental in this, the backbone of this nation, and I feel somehow people feel they put a religious tag to it. Don't look at as you cannot take out the culture in you. For example, the Villain is a representation by Arthur Schopenhauer. It was quoted in, I think, in volume 1. He says, they put a question when he states in that book, a lot of European, this kind of, the belief system there is coming into India, and they're trying to change the core of India. And he says, you cannot change India, the core culture of India. It is like changing, firing a bullet to a cliff. Instead of you changing India, if you want to take your values, your cultural values back into India, and you're trying to transform them, it is like firing a bullet to a cliff. Instead of you changing them, they're going to have a fundamental changes in the European thinking. That's how he designed the traditional dharma of this nation. This country there are many ways, it's individuals. If you say people find a lot of flaws with the Sanatana Dharma and all, which I don't say it is like this. In letter and spirit, when people talk about constitution, it was done by hundreds of people. B.R. Ambedkar ji was the chairman. A lot of eminent leaders had done with a lot of thought process and everything. It is the implementation of constitution in its true spirit is different, and the written word is different. In the same way, Sanatana Dharma, in its core, it is great. It is very flexible, it is very welcoming and everything. But that does not mean it is, when certain people has done mistakes, that does not mean you have to hate the core dharma itself, which I find fault with that. So when I'm trying to say that, and a lot of people won't like it. But Gen Z should understand, don't believe my words. Let us not have partiality, giving more scope for other religion, not for Sanatana Dharma, which I feel it is unfair. If you'll go to Singapore, I don't know, I'm not a mad fanatic Hindu. I'm not, I don't want to disrespect any religion. For me, I don't do for words. I said, my concern is, why should I speak about Sanatana Dharma today when there was no need? Because a need came in such a way, if people keep on abusing one Sanatana gods of Hindu Dharma, I wanted to say, don't do it. You don't have the guts to talk about other religions, don't do the same thing about Hindu Dharma. That's all my question is. Don't get into traditions. If I come into your house, I think I'm supposed to take out my chappals and come inside. And I said, just because I said, I'm okay, I want to come with I said, that is your tradition. There's so many things which we have to respect, the privacy of others, the tradition of others, which I'm asking, extend the same what you have extended for other religions. That's what my question is. Even in Singapore, it's a multi-religious society there. Taoism is there, Buddhism is there, there's a Hinduism, there is a Gurdwaras are there's a Islam is there. And still they coexist as one society. No matter which religion you target, the punishment is the same. But in India, the convenience is if you hit Hindu Dharma, you can get away with it. With other Dharmas, you'll be punished. I don't want that to happen. I want you give us equal respect. That's it. Whatever the justice you are giving it for other religions, do the same thing even for Hindu Dharma. In that perspective, I say beyond that, I don't want it to make it India as a fanatic Hindu nation. I don't believe in that. But I believe respect for this Sanatana Dharma. The way you respect Islam, the way you respect Christianity. That's how my parents had taught me. That's it. Beyond that, I don't want to take it to a level which is intolerable. I don't believe in that.
So I think that solves the debate, because we've always seen you growing up as a secular person, and once you entered politics, and because of whatever reasons, you have been pictured like, you were going more into one religion basis. But thank you for sharing your guiding philosophy on how you're able to balance, and I think that explains why all the communities have immense respect for you. We'll move on to the next question.
நீங்கள் தமிழ்நாட்டில் வந்திருக்கீங்களா? தமிழ்ல நீங்கள்? Thank you so much. Sir, if you could please acknowledge them for coming all the way from Tamil Nadu. So if you can acknowledge them in 2 lines in Tamil, please.
நீங்கள் 2 பேர் தமிழ்நாட்டிலேருந்து வந்துட்டீங்களா? எந்த இடத்துலேருந்து வந்துட்டீங்க? சென்னையா? ரொம்ப நன்றி. நீங்கள் சென்னையிலேருந்து இந்த ப்ரோக்ராமுக்கு வந்துடுது. ரொம்ப நன்றி. தேங்க்யூ.
தேங்க்யூ சார். So next question, please.
Good afternoon, sir. Vanakkam. I'm also a Tamilian. So I'm Chandana. I have 2 questions for you. The first one is, as a father of a Gen Z, how are you? Are you strict or are you relaxed?
Father of Gen Z? No. What if a 7-year-old kid is there? Which generation he belongs to? My youngest son is 7-year-old, so how do I?
I think Gen Alpha, yeah.
Okay. So I have kids from Gen Z to Gen Alpha, I think. Okay. So tell me, how do I?
How are you? Are you strict or relaxed? Chill parent.
I'm not strict. At the same time, I'm supple. And I said, where I have to be hard, I'll be hard. Not in, but sometimes where if they go out of limits, which normally they don't do, but I guide them.
Of course.
So in a way, you can see they see a lot of suppleness in me as a father. I'm not, but without being strict, I'll be strict.